Okay everyone, here's a review of my version of Hewkii Mahri, an updated version that is overly custom. Now, I was in a mocking block for kind of a while. I didn't know what to build. I felt like I was limiting myself to one or two different things that I was just wanted to build but wasn't good at. So I decided just to get out of the rut and rebuild a set. And I figured, why not build Hewkii Mahri? That probably isn't the first thought of most people, but hey! A lot of people like Jowler, a lot of people like Holly. I like Hewkii the most. He's my favorite. That does not mean I'm going to make every member of the team. If I'm going to make another, it might just be Kongu, but I still don't know. Kind of debating that. I don't know. I feel like revamping another set, but I don't quite know what to do. So, Hewkii Mahri, there are two different versions of him. This version, which is original, you know, it looks like the original set, and there's a more slimmer, kind of more modern-looking version of a Toa, I guess, so I'll show that a little bit later once I go over Poseability. So, why don't we zoom in a bit more, start from the ground up, and see the details. And here we have the legs. Now, I kind of went a little crazy on the feet. These feet are all completely custom, and I tried to make a representation of his original foot, the plain one-piece foot. And I think I went a little overboard, but I think it went really cool. If you can see here, he does have little posable toes. They do move in tandem, but you can move them individually. So that's really cool. And he also has these little back toesies. It's probably not even a thing, but it's a thing. I want to add two more slope pieces on here, like on the top, but I just didn't have them. So I just kind of add a flat brick. Well, plate, really. But the lower legs came out really good. I tried to stick to the original type of leg, but, didn't really turn out the way I wished. Like, I wish I could have added some spike pieces in these holes, but I just didn't have them. Which is weird for me to say. I like collecting pieces like that, and I just didn't have them, so it's a shame. So there are a lot of open gaps on this leg, but I don't mind. I think it looks good. There's a silver bit right here in the back holding it together. It's the same thing on the other leg. I just didn't have the piece. It's like a semi-drinking game. Kids don't drink. Drink chocolate milk. It's a good idea. So I think the leg looks pretty good. It's pretty structurally sound. You can just plop it off like this, and there's a tire in there. But it's secure. This little angled piece helps keep it in a little bit. Upper leg, no real custom. The limb itself isn't custom, but I add a lot of pieces around it to make it look like it. So I tried. I didn't have the original spike piece. I couldn't find it, so I kind of freeformed, and I think it looks alright. It looks okay. The legs themselves are pretty good. I think it's the most solid part of the entire mock. I mean, I think it looks. They look like the original set, but they also look very amphibian. I don't know why I think that. They look like Baraki kind of legs if you look at them long enough, and I think it's a good combination considering, you know, it was the Mahri and they were in the ocean. I forget the name. My bad. Let's look at the torso. And as he stares deeply into your soul, we're going to look at his torso. Well, more specifically his waist. It is a solid black piece, but I did add this bar on top to make it look like a mech true waist. Kind of like how the black bar was going up the torso originally on the set. Most of the torso was orange. Or Kitorange, I should say. Like the original set, there was no detail, it was very empty, so I kind of bulked it out. And the original torso does get some shine because it is the original torso. It's kind of a custom cheat, but I think it looked the best if I'm doing a full-on revamp and trying to keep to the original set. I think I'm saying that too many times, but I don't care, because I'm actually kind of proud of this. There are some fang pieces here from 3.0. Fear Factor 3.0, that's adds some nice curved detail there. The arm going up the torso, I think it looks pretty cool. I think personally. There are some black bits up here near the neck. I don't mind that because it kind of just looks like one solid black piece going into the neck. So that's kind of cool. Looking into the back, there are a lot of coils. Just added for detail. People have been wondering why there's an astromech droid here. Why not? I just had a stray cord and I didn't know what to do with it, so I wanted to add something there. So he's got a little tiny golden astromech dude just hanging out. Does what he wants. Now going to the arm, it's going to take the arm off to get into better detail. And the chain is caught. That's not good. Alright. So yeah, this is a Hero Factory limb, but most of it's covered up by this black, with a lot of the red missiles, even some on the bottom there. It looks cool, pretty cool. It's the most solid arm of the two, so I'd say so. Now, this entire lower arm was supposed to be a giant Hero Factory bit, and I was just going to make it look custom, but I said no! Let's do full-on custom. Let's not be lazy this time, and I was not. I think it looks pretty solid. Keeps the original Nika leg as an arm. The only thing I don't like is that there are these little tire bits, because I didn't have anything else to use for that. They're kind of wobbly, but I don't mind. There are little trans yellow bits and there are little Lego bits. You fold that up. There's the Clitorian neck. They are kind of flimsy because it's Lego and it does hinder the articulation of the wrist somewhat, but I'll get to that later. The hand, I didn't have the pieces to make an all Clitorian looking hand, so I kind of improvised. And it looks like he has claws. Kind of keeping to the whole him having Baraki features, more like deep sea creature features to a Toa, which is appropriate, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, the weapon, considering this is the weapon that goes with this hand, it pretty much looks like the original, except for the giant fin on the top. Figured I'd add that. You can play around with this. You can keep it like the original staff, or you can flip this around and make it like a weird hatchet. And it's a preference, I guess. I guess like the original. I also didn't cover up these holes on the bottom, because I always forget to do that when I use this piece. But yeah, that's cool. Now, taking off the other arm, it is the other Hero Factory limb. Some detail there with the giant silver spikes. I wanted to keep that like the original set, because I think if I made them bigger, it would really look doofy. Even when this guy is Titan-sized. This just looks better. And it makes the posability a little better, too. The lower arm was a bit of an issue, to be honest. I didn't know if I wanted to give him more slim and give him a hand so he can hold the Kordak blaster. Is it Kordak? I forgot. Anyway. It's just a simple block of Clitorian. But I think it looks good. You can't take this out, though. It's stuck in there. But I don't mind. And people will say this. He does have little fingers in there. But one of them's locked in, and the other one I just don't feel like getting out. He just looks weird with two fingers. So that's another reason why I kept it a solid block. But hey, still got the blaster. It works. Let me try and fire this off. Yeah. There we go. Well, 4 out of 6 ain't bad. Lastly, the head, which is interesting. Well, chains are getting caught and everything. That's not a good sign. So here's the head. I did add these black finger pieces to the side with the spikes going down. Kind of widens the head, makes it look a little better. Big mouth guard, which I wanted to add more tubes in there, but I think that just would have been a little overkill. Red spikes on the head. That's the only detail I forgot, because it's the most minuscule thing to have little spikes, but yeah, it's whatever. The tube has extra little tube pieces on it, so that's cool. Now, something I didn't get across on the pictures on mock pages, which are in the link below if you're curious, there is gray on the bottom of the head to make it look like a Metro head. And if you can tell, you probably already noticed, but just pointing that out, there are little trans-orange eye pieces in there, ones from Rodaka, being used for the eyes. As much as I would love to take off this mask and show you the head, there's a lightsaber bar going across his head that's connecting these little finger pieces. It's keeping the whole head together. So, sadly, I can't take off the mask. So that's kind of a shame. So why don't we reassemble this guy and put his missiles back in and show the posability? Yeah, that's probably a good thing to do. Posability on this guy is, it's satisfying. It gets the job done. Like I mentioned before, his toes are individually movable, or posable, I should say. Also, this entire foot bends in half, so he has like a giant half-foot toe joint. It works, because if you want to bend the leg more this way, you have to move the foot. Which doesn't look bad, but it helps the posability. And he's got the little back heel pieces. Leg only has a 90-degree bend, but if you want, you can bend it. Oh, I thought you could bend it out more that way. I didn't know that. I should know that. Hips are on a normal ball joint. No waist articulation. I figured his upper body would be too top heavy to begin with, so let's not complicate things by adding a waist joint. Arms, ball joints all around. The silver spikes do get in the way, but not as much as the original set. Spin all the way around. 90-degree bend, and it's on a ball joint, so it can go inward. So that's pretty good. No hand, of course, you can spin this. So that's articulation. This is the more posable hand. I did take off the staff, just for showing off sake. Spins all the way around. 90-degree bend, and same here. The hand, it can bend down like this and bend a little up like that. But if you wanted to go like this and bend it back and forth this way, it won't work. But you can do it like that. It's small hindrance, but meh. I just wish it was more open. Fingers are individually posable. The thumb, you can move it in and out like this and bend it up and down. I just kind of like him having like the splayed open hand type of look. And popping off the arm, that's not a good thing. Especially not for posability. And the neck can move all the way around. The tube doesn't hinder anything all too much. Now the mode I was talking about, where you can kind of straighten him out, it's self-explanatory. You just straighten out his body. And bend down the arm, bend this down. And, you know, it's pretty obvious. Like, I gotta move back the camera. No, now you see the weird walls. Oh, no. Yeah. But the one thing that really sold me on this is the way I had the neck contorted. There are a lot of different joints in the neck, and if I move this around a certain way, I can bring the entire back... I don't think that came off. Let me try and do that again. That gray bit right there, you can bend that back and push his neck up a bit more, and it gives him more of a streamlined, kind of larger toe look. He does have a bit of a long neck as a product of that, but he just looks a bit more, I don't know, I want to say flexible, a bit more movable. Those are terrible words of my vocabulary to use to describe it. Just can't grab him. But he looks more slimy. He looks kind of better. And if you get the staff in, hold the staff. Not even going to bother. It's too big. But yeah, there's that. I think it looks pretty cool. It's kind of, it's a throwaway thing. But the way the neck I had jointed, I think it pulls it off pretty well. And you can pull off some good poses in this. Now this is a situation where I wish I gave him a waist joint so he can kind of spin it. But you can still get some stuff off. See, there you go. That's not bad. And that's my review of my updated version of Hewkii Mahri. If you want to check out some pictures that I took last week, then there's the link below to my Mock Pages account where you can check all that out. Also, I haven't mentioned this in the video yet, but it's around. I'm going to start using my Facebook fan page more often. It's the ShadowGear6235 fan page. Yeah, I know, it's one of those YouTube gimmicky things, but I figured, why not have it? Giving you some updates on what I'm doing, and so, it's up there. So, the link for that is below. So, you know, subscribe, like, all that jazz if you're really interested and want to try and get more of these out at least once a week. So, yeah, that's my Hewkii Mahri update. And this is ShadowGear6235, signing out, and goodbye. See you folks another time.